Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to play a song. So this is Addison's Walk by Keaggy. This is from his album Beyond Nature, which is an amazing album about the life of C.S. Lewis. It's all instrumental. It's beautiful. It's all kind of inspired. A lot of people, I think, don't know or they forget that C.S. Lewis was an Irish author. You know, he's sort of known as an English writer because, you know, Britain and all that. But he's Irish. So a lot of the music in this album has kind of an Irish, you know, Celtic feel to it, which is really, really cool. So this song is surprisingly one of the easier ones to play on the album. There's you know, it's nicely paced and there are a couple of tricky spots, but once you kind of figure those out, it's not hard at all to play. So yeah, so I'm going to show you like where to put your fingers and when. I will say that I'm still working on the timing of things for myself and my own performance of the song. So I'm by no means like my playing of this is by no means perfect. But I at least know like what I'm supposed to play and, like I said, when. So I can show you that and then we can work on the timing together. So the first thing that you need to know is that the guitar is in like an open D6th tuning. So you've got your 6th string is D, your 5th string is A, your 4th string is D, your 3rd string is F sharp, your 5th string, or sorry, your 2nd string is B, and your 1st string is D. So, this is the first section. It's kind of, you know, I mean, like any song, it's kind of broken down into sections. There's a little bit of repetition and a little bit of not. So let's jump in. So to start off, you bar up on the 7th fret. And so the way that I do that is I use, on my right hand, I use these 3 fingers to kind of pluck the top 3 strings or the bottom 3 strings with the 6th string. And it's like this. So, let's zoom in a little bit here. So you're going to bar. Let's see. So, does that make sense? I'm trying not to over describe it, but basically, yeah. Try and make sure so you can see what both hands are doing. So you kind of do that little on these two. It's the 3rd and 5th strings. hit. You just kind of can pluck those middle strings on the 12th fret to hit that harmonic. And then it repeats. And this, then he plays the the 4th and 5th strings on the 7th fret, like the harmonic, and then the 3rd and 4th strings on the 12th fret harmonic. So I'll play it again. I'll play it slowly. Right? Easy enough. Now, this is probably the trickiest part of the song, or at least it sounds like the trickiest part of the song, and that's the run that he does. So that's, and it's actually not that hard. The biggest sort of challenge with that is the timing, because if you lose coordination between both hands, it can get kind of messy. So basically, you're basically doing a hammer-on and a pull-off, and you're skipping a string between the ones that you're playing. So for example, you're basically playing the open D and hammering on the 7th fret, and then you're plucking the index finger on the 4th string on the 4th fret, and you're plucking it like that. So, and then you play like on the 5th string and the 3rd string. And it feels really cool to be able to do that once you get it down. So this one you don't pull off because now you're going into the next section. So after we come out of our run, and we'll play it again because it's fun. So you kind of let that 6th chord ring out, and then I'm plucking with my plucking on the 1st string, and then you're playing kind of an A7th. Plucking, all of these strings together, like the 5th, and then the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The chord is basically, it's kind of like a B. If you were playing in a standard tuning, it'd be kind of like, if you're playing like the B jazz chord, but it's up. You kind of move it down, each finger down a string. So these three fingers here are on the 2nd fret for the 4th and 2nd and 1st strings, and then your index finger plays the 3rd string on the 1st fret. So then you slide up to the 4th, and then you play And then, and those little trills, you'll hear those little trills all over the album. Now that's a little bit of a tricky part too, because he goes from playing this chord where you've got your pinky on the first string, and in the middle of that slide, he shifts it over to the ring finger. So so you've got ring finger on the first string, 4th fret, pinky on the 3rd string, 5th fret, and then the index finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. All right, so. So when you start, you play this, and then using the pinky, I go. And you have to kind of slide a little bit quickly. So then you've got index finger on the 5th fret, and then ring finger, middle finger on the 6th fret. Again, I'm trying not to like over explain it, because then I start getting confused, and sometimes I feel like it's better to just show than tell. So when you've got your fingers here, and put your pinky like on the 7th fret of the 2nd string. I guess I'm just going to explain stuff. 2nd string on the 7th fret. So let's see. So you're basically just sliding your finger down. So your index finger is here. And then you go back to the 6th form here. And then you just bar these 3 strings with your index finger and just play the major chord like that. Now this is a little different from the way that Phil plays it and the way that other people play it on YouTube. They kind of play it up here. Let's see. So that's definitely a way you can do that. I mostly play by ear, and am, mostly self-taught. So this is the way that the way that I figured it out, just by sort of listening to it. And the notes are the same. I think that there's a little bit more clarity here because you're playing farther down, you're closer to the headstock, so the notes tend to ring out a little bit truer. So that's so you get the same effect here. So anyway, so you finish that section and then you go back to the run. And then this next section basically repeats itself up to a point. So let's try it again. So you can see there's a little difference there. Instead of going from the this time we went and then we go back to where we were. So when we repeat this time, then like the first time around, we go and then we hit that A, and that kind of you know, it's the same fingerings here, but we're playing an A, and so that like it changes the feel of that chord. And then we just play these two notes together, the second and third strings on the 3rd fret. Yeah. Get that cool, like, you know, it's kind of like, again, being a self-taught person, I don't know the music theory very well. And so this is kind of feels like an androgynous chord. You know, it's not like you could play it in a major or a minor. I like that. Anyway, so from there, you basically bar, kind of like what we did here, except like the except you move it down 2 frets, so it's and what I do, I'm trying to angle it so you can see it. When I'm playing it, I kind of rotate my finger, so I lay my finger across these strings and bar them. And then when I go down, because these two are going to be open, but this root note stays the same. So I just rotate my finger onto the tip on the 3rd string, 1st fret. And then I move it down to the 2nd string because I'm playing these two. And that's kind of your where you go into you start getting into the tapping section. So we'll just play that part, that whole kind of chunk again. So now we get to the tapping part, and you're gonna put these 2 fingers together, and then your 4th string is gonna be open, and your 3rd string, you're gonna play the 1st fret. Now, I'm not the most accomplished tapper. I don't really know what I'm doing. I've got kind of the basics down. But in terms of like, anytime that I try to like, tap. So the idea with tapping is that, you hit the harmonic, right? And you slap that harmonic on the 12th and the different frets that you can get harmonics from. And it's supposed to, like pop that harmonic, and it sounds really, really cool. The problem for me is that like when I try to, I'm not doing the harmonic right or something like that, because anytime that I tap any of the frets other than the 12th, it starts to sound like garbage. So, so for this, I'm just going to basically stick to the 12th fret. As you continue kind of your explorations, once you know kind of like what you're doing on the neck and stuff like that, feel free to do your own thing. I mean, honestly, you know, if every cover person played every song just like the record, it would be kind of boring. So make it your own, you know. I certainly am. So yeah. Anyway, so I'll kind of show you. So yeah, so you hit. So let's see. Let's take it from. There. And you have to be kind of basically like right over the fret. Otherwise, it kind of, you get like part of the harmonic, but not the whole thing. The other thing is when you're tapping, so if for like the bass notes, you know, like be aware of kind of what side of the fretboard you're tapping, because that's going to kind of determine like which notes, you know, are going to sing out. So in this case, let's see. So that's kind of, you know, that's kind of the pattern for that one is. Right? So I'll try and go slowly so you can see, but can you, I don't know if you can kind of see my hand kind of shifting. So and then I kind of do a little pull off with my fingers here. And I try to keep, you know, the open D string to kind of ring out while I hit that harmonic. Because it just gives it a really nice, like, it's just a really great tone. And then you do it again. Oh yeah, I forgot one part. So, let's see. So it's this little run where it's kind of like if you were gonna go, you know, in like classic 70s rock and roll song. Now, for that one, as you can see, and this is what, you know, this is a thing that Phil does. There's a video of him playing this song, a shortened version of this song on the internet, and he kind of just bars across on the 5th fret, and that's basically what everybody else does. I haven't really found a good way, because, you know, you can't really get that harmonic. One thing that you could do, and that I've kind of experimented with, is kind of trying to, you know, do the tap that on the 12th fret. It's a little tricky, you know, kind of experiment with it because like, you know, sonically it kind of adds a loud pop when like the feel of the song is kind of like winding down a little bit, right? So yeah, you kind of have to be careful how you're doing that because you know, you want to make it fit in with everything else that you're playing as you're doing the song. So anyway, let's take it again. So that opening, that's like the bookend of all of the pieces that you've kind of been playing. So now it basically does the run and repeats that second section all the way through. All right, now we get to the bridge. Yeah, see, that's tough, but so this is what I'm playing here. So I've got these fingers. Let's try that again. Now I'll actually move to kind of show you what both hands are doing. So in that one, you've got, it's the second, third, and fourth strings. Play them all together, and then, so like, yeah, all together, and then 3, 2. and then move up 2 frets, and then play the open D string here. And then right, so you've got these two. So now you're gonna play that. That was really messy, so I apologize for that, but so you do that, another trill, and then you, on the 5th string, you hammer on the 3rd fret. And this is the basic motion that you're doing with your left hand. It's kind of a series of hammer-ons and pull-offs on these 2 strings, the 4th and 2nd. And this is where you'll have to kind of experiment around with some of the tapping, you know, or like watch Phil's video, or you know, some of the other cool videos, because it feels like there's some dynamics in there that I'm missing, right? Some sonic dynamics that I'm missing with the. See, some of those they don't feel quite right, and part of it is because I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway. So he plays that 3 times and then plays, let's see. So you've got your pinky on the 4th string, 5th fret, ring finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret. No, sorry, 4th string, 5th fret, and then your pinky on the 4th string, 4th fret, or 3rd string, 4th fret, middle finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and then index finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret. Yeah. So from here, I'll scoot here so you can see it. Okay, and now we go to kind of the outro of the song. So before, when we started the song and kind of throughout, we played so for this one, at the end of the song, we're gonna leave the 5th and 6th strings open and then bar the rest on the 7th. sorry, I'm watching my hands in the camera instead of what they're doing here. So this is the part where the oboe kind of comes in and does the and then it ends with so that run is basically the same as all the other ones, except that time you do pull off on that, and then have it. So hopefully this video has not been too torturous, and hopefully you've been able to, like, you know, get acquainted enough with the basics to kind of, you know, practice it and make it your own. You know, I always think that's super cool when people take a song and kind of do their own thing with it. Yeah, so, you know, I've been sort of working on this song off and on for probably the last, like, 2 years. I mean, I started learning it, like, 2 years ago, and then you know, life happened, and I didn't work on it for a long time. And then recently, in the last, like, probably week or something like that, I've started picking it up again. And so, you know, definitely, like, take your time and go slow. Don't rush. Like, for example, in County Down, you know, Phil is like, you know, so the speed at which I play the song is you know, you get the idea. But, you know, Phil, when he plays it, it's like, you know, so he's just blowing through these songs, and, you know, I have to, like, not listen to that when I'm practicing because I want to play it, you know, as quickly and easily as he does and groove into it. Take your time with it, and yeah, definitely, like, you know, like, set a metronome. This is a really good thing. Get a metronome app on your phone and set it to a tempo that, like, is almost too slow, and play along with it, and use that to kind of help you keep your cadence, and then slowly kind of like build it up. And I know that that's not fun because we all want to just be awesome at the song right away, but yeah, with these types of songs, you know, it's definitely better to like build up to it and, you know, play it slower. And especially with a song like this, you know, this is such a this is such an easygoing song, you know. You don't have to play it fast in order for it to be awesome. So I just love that. Anyway, this is kind of a rambling lesson, so you know, apologies for that. But yeah, leave a comment if you dig it. Leave a comment if there's another song that you'd like to maybe hear. I would do one for County Down, but there's a better video out there by Jesse Wall. Check that one out because, you know, he explains it really, really well, and just does a better job than I would do. Plus, he can play the song all the way through and play it awesomely. So anyway, have a good one and have fun playing.